Hi guys, welcome back to the C Morning Show right here on C Today. And now it is a very special segment. You are welcome to the book talk segment, which is now. Now today we're excited to introduce an inspiring new book designed to transform your career. Now our guest in the studio here is an author of a compelling guide packed with insights, strategies, and also motivational wisdom to help you guys out there excel in your professional journey.
Yeah, so whether you're just starting out or aiming for the next level, let's explore the small actions, think big, start small, act now with authors Eric Sim and Lanny Wijaya. So good morning. Good morning, Eric. Ibu Lanny.
Good morning.
It's good to be here in
Mr.
Jakarta.
Eric, Ibu Lanny. Oh, thank you very much. Welcome from Singapore, right?
Yes, from Singapore.
From Singapore.
From Singapore.
Okay, so we are going to talk, and you guys are going to encourage us, to enlighten us, and also to boost us, right? So I like that already.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we want to know more and deeper about the book itself. But before that, we want to know, why do you like writing books so much?
I was writing on social media, on
Right.
LinkedIn, and for about 7 years, writing every week. And my followers wanted to find all articles.
Right.
It's very difficult to find them.
I see.
And when the pandemic hit, I couldn't travel. I said, what should I do with my time? Why don't I took all my articles, about 200-300 of them, rank them from the most liked to the least liked, choose the best, well-liked article, the one that resonate with readers, categorize them, and put them into a book.
Ah, okay. So it's interesting. You're a LinkedIn article writer. You put
Yes.
your articles in LinkedIn. I always wonder, people who actually do this, because sometimes they put things together from different sources, but I never actually met a case like this, because usually it's just a summary. There's summary of different books, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So what I did was to tell my story from my childhood, struggle, the failures, up to when I reached managing director at UBS Investment Bank.
Oh, wow. I mean, it's a milestone, if I may say, right?
Yes.
But, to actually categorize things, it'll take time. How long it took you to do so until it's finished?
9 months is very short time because I know my English is not good, so I got a co-author
Right.
who write the book together with me.
Okay.
Then I didn't have to worry about the grammar, the vocab. And he's based out of London, from New Zealand. So he makes sure he explains the unfamiliar things like durian to the international readers.
Okay, very interesting. So, Ibu Lanny, so you also love to write? Is it your passion since you were a young girl?
Yeah. How do you how are you co-writing this? Is this your book? Or are you making a more localized version of it so it's more relevant to the
Yeah.
Indonesian public? Is that what it is?
Yes, so obviously Eric Sim is the main author, and he has translated a lot of languages, right, of his book, and we collaborate for Indonesia version. Yeah, so the reason that I'm interested to collaborate with him because the stories in this book are very relevant and very resonate to me, myself, and my own career development. So to your questions, whether I love writing, not yet. It's a habit small actions that I'm trying to build on. Yeah, but yeah, Eric inspired many of us, and including me, to start writing and start sharing stories and experience so we can impact the people with our stories.
Okay.
Yeah, look at that. We have also an endorsement from our friend Yuri Sebastian
Yes.
here. Oh, yeah.
There you go. You can see on the screen small actions. Now,
Yeah.
why did you take, the title? You actually came up with the title Small Actions.
Yes. So when I was young, I suffered from inferiority complex. I failed several subjects in school. I was very skinny. I got childhood asthma. My mother refused to let me play football. So I was a good for nothing and lacked social skills as well. So I didn't have the courage to do anything big. I didn't dare to even dream. But I still want to improve myself. What can I do? So I take tiny, tiny steps. And it's something that I learned from my father. My father was selling prawn noodle in Singapore Hawker Center for over 30 years, and I helped him for 10 years, from primary school until university. So I wash I wash the bowls like this, and the other task is to pluck the black husk from bean sprout,
Ah, yes.
the taugeh.
Yeah.
Of course, we work in the hawker center. Our bean sprout is a big pile. And I was a teenager, slept late, I have to wake up early to go to the prawn noodle store to start plugging the black husk. And I was showing a black face. I was not happy. It was very boring. It was very dull. My father said, why pull such a long face? He said that, take one pile, a small handful, clear that, then take another handful and then clear that. Because then the clean bean sprout gets bigger. As it gets bigger, it gives you the motivation to continue your work, because now the untreated one is getting smaller,
Yeah.
rather than staring at it and trying to pluck.
Right.
So in our life, we can always do that. Any big task ahead, try to slice it. If you want to run a marathon, don't think of 42 kilometers. Think of 3 kilometers.
I will remember that in 2 weeks.
He's a runner, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Okay, that's actually very. I can picture this. I can totally picture this. I can picture a hawker center. I can picture family members working in the back, plucking the separating the bean sprouts and just doing the small steps. And I can also picture how competitive it would be, and now probably you lose some social life as well by doing a lot of family work as well, right? Especially
Absolutely.
Singapore is very kiasu, right? Everybody's so competitive in that sense.
Yes, so I have to work Sunday, school holiday, and public holidays. So not much time for anything else.
Right.
Yeah, but that's not the reason why I failed so many subjects in school. I was just not very smart at that time.
Okay, but
humble.
of course we evolve, right, in our very own special way. Now, we want to talk more about the book itself. So, can you share a key strategy from the book itself that actually has helped others in pursuing their careers?
Yeah. So because the book is practical tips and divided into small chapters, so there are a lot of small action that people can take. For example, I would suggest my followers, when you attend a speech or a lecture, sit in the first row, ask the first question.
Why is that?
Because a lot of people have fear in public speaking.
Okay.
By asking the first question, you can overcome the fear gradually.
Right. It's like an icebreaker, right? Yeah.
It is also help you be remembered by the speakers as well as other attendees.
Okay.
Because if you notice, I'm sure you have spoken in a big lecture hall before, you tend to remember people sitting in the first row.
Yeah.
And if they come up to you and say, hey, great speech, you remember them, maybe you have a follow-up, they build a relationship with you. So I want my followers to take all those small little steps. And that's the strategy. Everything is small.
Everything's small. See, small action.
No, for real. Look at this. I'm reviewing the book as we speak, right?
Yeah.
So this is chapter 26. It ends in just several pages, and it starts with another tip. See, that's 27.
right.
So it's very practical, small steps. Exactly what it is.
And because young people now have a short attention span,
And yes.
so I want them to use their fragmented time, the time waiting for your Grab. You have 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have this book with you, whether it's an e-book or a physical book.
Yeah.
5 minutes, you can read 4 pages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 minutes, 4 pages, different languages. We've got books here. This one is what you're holding, Yasha, is written in Bahasa.
Bahasa
Bahasa
Translated.
Indonesia. This is the latest version that just came out last month.
Right.
Okay.
So I've got the English
English
version.
version. And I have the simplified Chinese version for mainland China, the traditional Chinese for Hong Kong and Taiwan.
Ah,
Oh,
wow,
see?
okay.
Now, what sets your book apart from other career guides itself?
Yeah, so it's practical and you can apply immediately.
Okay.
For example, one of the questions that people ask me is, should they be a generalist or a specialist? So chapter 1 say, don't be either, be a combo specialist. So what's a combo specialist? If you go to McDonald's, you know that there is a combo meal.
Yes.
So the burger is your core specialization.
Okay.
The fries is your secondary specialization. And the Coke, that is your interest or hobby. So we want to introduce ourselves as somebody with multiple skills. For example, you can be a singer, a host, TV host, and a book lover. Like for me, I was a banker, a teacher. I was an associate professor at one of the university in Hong Kong. And my interest is blogging on LinkedIn. So that's my combination. So I don't introduce myself as a one-dimension specialist.
Right.
So that is how people can immediately say, okay, what's my combo? I need to include my interest. A lot of people say work is work. Interest, I keep one side.
Yes.
No, interest we need to incorporate into our work so that our work is interesting, it makes us different, and you can use your interest to talk to big bosses. You cannot talk to your
Yes.
boss 3 levels above you about work,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
then you would have skipped your immediate
Yeah.
boss. But you can talk about marathon.
Yeah.
Your big boss may say, hey, I want to run a marathon. How can I do it? You're going to run it in 2 weeks' time. Give us some tips.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now-
I get that. I get that.
Of
Yeah,
course you
yeah, yeah.
do.
You know what? That's actually very true. When you talk to in my other job,
Yeah.
also I get to have interesting channels through hobbies.
Yeah.
You know, some people go on motorcycles or have like a car, like a car aficionado or just anything, right?
It can be anything.
You know, but it's actually good to network in a different
Yes.
setting, right?
And then once you build your network, you hear the gossip in the company,
Right.
you're better positioned yourself. Otherwise, if you sit at the corner doing your Excel
Yeah.
and you realize that nobody knows you, you don't know anybody, then when
Yeah.
promotion comes, you will be the last person.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're 50, right? and retirement is just around the corner, and that's it. Yeah. Yeah. So that's why small action is very important because time flies, right?
Yes.
And that's why the 5 minutes, reading a chapter, it works.
Something
Great.
simple, but
Yeah.
very important. Now, what hurdles, what common hurdles do one face in their careers, and also how does your book, Mr. Eric, address to them?
Yeah, the hurdles is people thought that promotion is based on performance, but it's not. In fact, there was a study in 1996 by Harvey Coleman. It's based on PIE, P-I-E.
Okay.
Performance, P, takes about 10%. I is image, takes about 30%. E is exposure, 60%.
Ah, wow. Okay.
So image is your reputation, your personal brand. E is your exposure. Do people know you?
yeah.
Do the bosses know you? If they never have heard of you, you won't get promoted. Exposure also includes the network. Do you know a wide range of people? Because sometimes you need to know people from other company and to learn about their best practices.
Okay.
So with PIE, this mindset, then if we realize that, okay, image and exposure is even more important than our performance, then what should we do? We can then build our personal brand, our external brand on social media to influence our internal brand. Because once you work for a company for like 6 months, your brand internally is fixed.
Yes.
You cannot change anymore.
yeah.
If people think that you're lazy because you are, late for work because of family issue, forever they think that you are lazy.
Okay.
So use external brand to change that.
Okay. All right. So what? How do you explain this? What contributed to this from FX foreign exchange sales DBS to managing director of UBS? Damn, that's top dog position right there.
Yes.
What contributed to that? You mentioned that with the pie. What's that?
Yeah. So I was helping a lot of people in my company because I was interested in Mac computer in 2001 when nobody was using Mac. So my bosses, my colleagues said, hey, Eric, should we buy a Mac? So I'm giving them a lot of free advice. And one of my bosses said, I just bought a Mac based on your recommendation. Now teach me how to use it. So I went to his house. He introduced his family to me. So I got to know him much personally. When I want to be posted to China or Hong Kong, he said yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So it is that small little thing that we do
Right.
and building social capital, helping other people. So that chart, the nice one,
Yep.
is what my CV looks like. The bottom one is what I went through. So I was rejected by airlines for cabin crew job. I was rejected by Princeton for PhD program. Yeah.
But again, look at you now, right? There's always a small step or small actions to it that can actually evolve or make you bigger. Now, if we want to know more about the small actions, for people out there, how can actually the readers may apply your concept in their careers? Different careers are allowed, or is it okay to do the small concept itself that you wrote?
Yeah, any careers is allowed, and also whether it's the entry level or leadership level is okay. I'm going to just say one, then I'll let Lanny continue because she was a reader first when she read my book.
Right.
So I want her to
Yeah.
share how she felt before she got involved in the book. So one of the concepts in chapter 4 is be your own CEO.
Okay.
A lot of us are not CEO, but we can be our own CEO, our career CEO. It means if you're not happy with the stationery, buy your own. So I work in banks. Don't think that banks are very rich. In fact, sometimes they stinge on stationery. So I buy my own pen. I buy my own chair. My chair is the one that fits me. Sometimes, company, they give you a chair which is standardized for everyone. May or may not fit you if it doesn't fit me. So I spend my own money for training as well. I was in middle office risk management. Nothing to do with sales, but I know that I need selling skills. I didn't want to ask my boss to send me because the company won't approve.
Right.
It's not part of my job. I paid on my own. I spent 5 days. I took 5 days of annual leave to attend a course for insurance agent because they know how to take rejection in Johor Bahru. So this is being your own CEO, being in charge of your personal development.
Okay, I like how you, Mr. Eric, put yourself, the way you think, how to overcome. Do you always have that, kind of vision since you were young, maybe, or is it just nowadays?
No, I think it was not clear. I was just following the crowd.
Right.
Everybody is studying engineering, so I went to engineering school.
Yeah. I saw that in that
Then
chart. You were engineering.
Yeah.
You went to DBS.
Yeah, then I decided that, hey, if I continue following people,
Right.
my life will be like everybody else. So that's not an interesting life. I should try to make different decisions.
Right.
Okay. All right. I want to hear your experience. How did you get attracted to this project, and
Yeah,
you're
well,
obviously a fan of the blog, right?
a fan of Eric, yes. Yeah, we met during COVID times on LinkedIn as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so we connected, and then that's how the story goes. And I come to know about his book, which I quickly read because it's so easy to read. Like he said, it's a very small, bite-sized chapter.
Yeah.
and very resonate to myself, who is in a middle career, want to progress further, and especially through his book, I understand that the career progression is not linear, right? It's not like, okay, I want as an entry, I go staff level, and then assistant manager, and then manager, and then
It's not that smooth, right?
yeah, that's all. I mean, especially fresh graduates, which I always help out to coach or to mentor. You know, sometimes they are very confused, right? What should I do as a first job? You know, and is it if I fail, how? You know, so that's how always in their mind. But through this book, also I could explain more. Like, hey, it's not always linear. My career has been different stages as well. So I have about 18 years experience of working experience. But I moved company 6 times.
Okay.
Yeah, every year I move. Only this current company I stay for 10 years.
Okay.
Because of the book.
Yeah. Yeah. So how has this book changed your career?
So
You know,
there's a
and what chapter really inspired you most?
Right. So I like the chapter 4, obviously, the Be Your Own CEO, because that is the best decisions that I made throughout my career to invest in myself, in my own development. So my own pocket money, I paid for a three days workshop and investing myself in leadership courses, which I also paid on my own, right? So of course, the company that I am currently very, very supportive of my development or everyone development, but you need to take control of your development.
Yes.
They won't spoon feed you.
Yes,
You know, it's in yourself. You need to wake up, you know, and grab that opportunities. The specific chapter maybe that I was learning is how to host a networking event.
Nice.
Yeah, so expert here, Mr. Eric Sim, yeah, so invited me to his to become a co-host one of the event in Malaysia.
Right.
So at that time, accidentally we were speakers of one of the events, and then Eric said, okay, let's host an invite LinkedIn influencers or LinkedIn connections. And yeah, so I learned from the best, obviously. It's very small, 10 to 15 people, and he was able to connect with everyone. So he spent 5 minutes with everyone. Yes. Yeah, so after a few months later, my friend and I decided to do it in Jakarta. Yeah, so I also live in Singapore, but I'm Indonesian. And Jakarta is my hometown, so I travel to Jakarta all the time. And we created a small networking event as well.
We would like to be invited, right?
Okay.
We would like to network with you guys, with Eric and Lanny.
Those sentences are with capitals.
Yeah.
So that means, Ibu Lanny, you've eaten the pie, you know your pie, and then again, you evolved, right? So I am so happy to hear a true statement like this one, right?
Yeah, so anyway, so if people are interested, they can get the book in local bookstores.
Yes.
If there are any bookstores left here, but
Yes.
you can always buy it online. But if you're also interested in the blog, you can also check out Eric's LinkedIn, right?
Yes. I'm
Eric Sim?
writing every week, so you'll see a new article.
He's got 2 million LinkedIn followers.
Yeah, almost 3 now.
Almost 3 million.
Okay.
It's
All
really
right.
hard
Super.
We'll check it out. I will follow you immediately. So
Thank you
unfortunately,
so
we're out of time, Eric and Lanny.
Thank
But
you so
it's a
much.
pleasure to have you both here, and very inspiring. Small actions.
Yep.
And the bowl. I will always remember the bowl. I always remember the bean sprouts. So every time I eat pho or anything. All right.
Okay, small actions will
prawn
lead to
noodles.
big results. Okay, so thank you so very much, Mr. Eric Sim, and also Ibu Lanny. And also, we will hope to see you again in the future.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So guys, we are going to go for another short break. So in the meantime, stay connected with us at See Today News only on Instagram, X, and also YouTube.